What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of 10K on the Bay, my journey to 10,000 live listings. Today we have our Sunday evening reseller live chat. Today we're going to talk about what's selling well on eBay. I think really right now is an awesome time to start looking at listings. Today we have our Sunday evening reseller. Sorry, it's unprofessional. I have myself playing on the other screen. Yeah, so we're just going to talk about stuff that sells really well, and I think that it's a good time to be buying stuff. Donations are super high. I was at Salvation Army today and Goodwill, and both of them told me that their quotas are increasing and decreasing prices for fourth quarter. I don't know if that's the same across the nation, but for my Goodwills, they want to make at least 3,000 a day. So that's insane. So I'm thinking that means they may be more friendly towards resellers. And if you guys are watching this chat, please put in the chat something that is selling well for you. And I guess let's start with Gwen. Do you want to jump in with something that's selling really well for you?
Right now, boots are like flying out of my store. Just any boots, winter shoes, clogs, like anything like that. All the boots I bought from the Nordstrom sale in April are finally selling. So I'm shipping about 4 or 5 pairs a day, which has been really good.
Are you doing, can you fit them in a medium flat rate box, or do they come in the original new box?
The ones I have half and half. So some of them that I have are in the original shoe boxes, and like the really big ones, like the UGG rain boots or the UGG tall boots, those ones have to go just priority. But a lot of the loose ones I can fit in a medium flat rate box if they're too heavy. I've tried to use a couple of like the Zone A and B, the regional rate boxes for those, and that's actually helped cut costs for some people.
For sure. I can fit most boots without a box into a medium flat rate. And there are also different shape medium flat rates, guys. So I recommend you guys all order. I recommend you order one of every box. Some people say don't do that because it's wasteful, but I think it's nice to have them because you may get some new ideas for what may fit in a regional A or B, or need to experiment in your area to take advantage of that. Shoes have been doing super well for me, but let's go to Vlad. Welcome to the call. I've never been on one of my shows before. Tell us a little bit about you and then what's been selling well.
Okay. I didn't know you're gonna do the chat, so I just connected. But I sell eBay watchers, guys. You ever heard about this? I have 70,000 eBay accounts, and
really?
Once you put some item on sale, everybody who is in this chat just PM me links to your items. I'm gonna boost it like 100 watchers in 5 minutes.
This is a really interesting topic that I'm glad that it's not really related to our topic tonight of what's selling, but I am curious, do watchers actually affect your selling? Like, what is your research? Your company artificially increases the number of watchers, which I'm not sure is good, but what would be the reasoning behind that?
Okay, so I created the script 4 years ago. Okay. The website calls watcherboost.com. That's mine. I have clients, from all around the world. They constantly, they keep buying this. Some of them telling that it doesn't help, but some of them tell it really moves you to the top of best match. There's a best match thing, and like 60% of people don't even sort price. They just type in the search box like iPhone, and they buy from there.
Okay. That's a fair assessment. I think that might be something that I think that's probably against eBay rules to purchase watchers, but I do think that I put my Apple shoes on Instagram and 3,000 people watched it. So it was like in every single kind of search, like on the side, in best match for things that weren't even related. It was very interesting having that many watchers. So I could see that it definitely would.
Everybody on this chat, I don't know, go to my website and email me your link. Don't have to buy. I'll just do it free for you, for everybody here.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I'd be curious to see. We'll try it. I'll send you a bunch of people, and we can see if the watchers actually improve conversion, because I think that watchers would actually make a difference. So, hey, Marla, thank you for joining the call. We were basically just sharing When you're ready to talk, I'll introduce you, or you can introduce yourself a little bit, but we're just sharing items that are selling well for us on eBay, and hopefully we can give people some ideas for what to sell for Q4, what's doing really hot for them. I've got a ton of items to show people. Joel, are you still driving? Do you want to give us a couple of ideas or something that's selling well for you? Give people some ideas these days.
Oh no, I'm here. Sorry.
Okay.
I wish I was driving. I'm just in the car, not going anywhere.
Fair enough.
I do really well. Toys have already started doing really well for me.
Okay.
And even not even lowball offers. I've sold 2 or 3 just at full asking price. But I noticed that they were also on my promoted listings. They sold through my promoted listings. But kids were little is when I started selling toys, because they would want toys and I couldn't find them in the store. Like, they would want toys pertaining to their favorite show that they watched or a movie that they loved. And they weren't in the stores. So then I would look on eBay and I'm like, what in the world? Who's going to pay that for that? And then I ended up paying that for that. I'm like, wait a minute, this might be a thing. So I just started, if the toy had a television show or a movie that was still at a time where kids were going to watch it a lot, I would get the toy. And
that's a great tip. Yeah, search current movies and get the
and any correct. And any show on like Nick Jr. or Disney Jr., because the kids watch, especially toddlers, they don't understand that they don't make toys for that anymore. And Target and Toys R Us and all of that, they will, inevitably stop making the toys for a certain show, like Little Boy Bear or Franklin, or Little Einsteins. But the shows are still on TV and the kids still want to play with them. Handy Manny. So that's what got me started on toys.
That's so awesome. If you have kids, guys, who are listening, use your kids for a recon, figure out what they like, what they're
yes.
Like. Start stocking.
And on YouTube.
YouTube.
That's also how I figure out what to buy, what's hot for the kids, is I listen to what my kids are talking about, because everything they watch on YouTube will have ads, and the ads, my kids were talking about it today in the car. One of them said, how did you know about that? And Cole said, it's been on every single YouTube ad that I've watched all week. So what they really target the kids, and I swear that's how things become really hot, because now all the kids watch YouTube. Mine don't. Kids, they hardly watch TV. The older ones hardly watch TV anymore.
I was looking at a YouTube channel today that has 5,000 times more traffic than mine, and all it is kids singing about animals. And it has like every single video has like 10 million views, and every single video has the toys for sale. So it's definitely,
crazy.
It makes sense, and I love it. And also, just so you guys know, the clearance sections of basically every retail store are going to have toys that for some reason didn't sell in that area. So keep looking. Retail arbitrage is going to be huge over the next 3 months, because
correct,
stocking up huge toys, but they're also getting rid of other toys to make space for.
At one point, I think it was last year, they discontinued the Octonauts toys, which is a show on Nick Jr., and they were selling for like $2 and $3 a piece, and there was so many of them. Like, there's no way that this is, like, obviously nobody wanted these toys. And then, but I got some anyway, and sure enough, last year they were selling overnight for like $60.
Sounds good. I'm gonna give you guys a bunch of hard goods that have been selling super well for me that I learned from Instagram. One is these electronic Bibles. This is a Franklin electronic Bible. I found this out from Thrift Love Sell. I've sold a bunch of Bibles now. An electronic Bible, I just make sure they turn on. These are selling for 30 to 100 depending on what model. And I even sold and picked up a Quran. So I mean, like, religious texts seem to be doing well. So like, pick them up when you see them at garage sales. Anything related to pets, I've sold tons of dog crates, leashes, dog food, like everything that I find related to pets seems to sell super well. Also, electronic games, so handheld games like this seem to sell super well for me. Little like blackjack or poker. This one is, I actually do not know what this game is, but it was selling for $17 and I got it for $1 at a garage sale. And then everything Apple, So the last 2 days, this is like the most unbelievable thing ever. I found 18 Apple products in 2 days. So MacBooks, mice, keyboards, the Magic Mouse, all trackpads, all these things, they pretty much sell instantly as soon as you post them. You don't even need to discount them or offer best offer. All of this stuff will sell out in the Christmas season. It's also stuff that people use and need. Like all Apple products are super hot, as you guys know. And then, of course, shoes. I am now spending up for higher quality shoes in the Bay Area. Shoes get really, really expensive. Like I paid $50 for a pair of Hermes sneakers today at Goodwill. I have never spent that much money on a single clothing item. 50 is really, really high for me. But the comps were like 250. So I'll spend up if I'm looking for stuff like that. Who knows how long it'll take to sell. But higher end shoes for me works a lot better. I tried buying bulk shoes from the Goodwill outlet, and I did not do as well as cherry picking super high expensive items from retail. I made way more money. So just something that has worked for me. Shoes, hard goods. I tell people that I don't sell hard goods, but that's actually a lie. I just don't want them to also sell them. But now we're being frank with everybody, and there are no bugs. I was just lying. So I would pick up hard goods because they're easier to sell. And all you have to do is make sure that they work, and then you're ready to go. So Marla, are you ready? Is your audio set up? Let's see. I can't hear you. Let's see if we can, if you are on mute. Let's see. If you're on your phone, it's the screen. You're currently muted. Yep. So like on the Google Hangout, there's a microphone button. Hopefully that will turn it off. Oh, yeah, I'll send you, there's some people emailing to get the link to come on. Marla, we still can't hear you. Gwen, do you have a second one?
Yeah, the other thing has been coats and jackets, and there's just been like a lot of kind of winter gear that's starting to go. I bought a lot of coats kind of in summer, the beginning of summer, and I thought, okay, now I have all these coats. They're huge. They take up a lot of space, but for the most part, I can get them all in a large flat rate box. So I just kind of packed them all into the large flat rate boxes instead of taking up storage space in my inventory or trying to hang them. And so that's been really easy because then as soon as they sell, I just slap a label on it and I'm done. So sweaters, bulky sweaters, coats, those are starting to go. Hard goods that I've been selling, you said the electronic Bible. Another one is electronic dictionary and thesaurus, and the electronic translators for different languages. I found a couple of those at the bins, and they're selling for like $50 on Amazon for a couple of them.
So are you sending some stuff? Do you send it to whoever's selling it for more?
Yeah. I usually send the electronic stuff to Amazon if I'm allowed to. Just depends on the brand of it. I'm gated in like almost everything, so I don't send them very much, but I tend to get a lot higher dollar amount if I send it to them. Like I just got, I'll go grab it in a second, but I just got one of these like electronic scanners. It's like a handheld scanner that's new in package, and you like can scan text on a book. And it's selling for like $125 on Amazon, but on eBay it's like $50.
Wow. Well, then that is definitely worth it. If you guys want to learn FBA and you don't think it's worth your time, you're literally getting almost triple for just this single item.
Yeah, and that's usually like a lot of really weird dead media sells really well on Amazon. Like even card scanners, like the little ones that you scan business cards through. Like I found them and I'm like, who would use this? Like, does anybody even use business cards? But they sold. Both of them sold for $150 on Amazon, and I paid like $2 for them.
Amazing. Marla, it looks like you are not muted anymore. I don't know how good your connection is, but you want to share introduce yourself and tell us what sells well for you.
Hey everyone, my name is Marla. Actually, I've been selling on eBay off and on since 2002, but I would, do really well and get burned out, and I just stopped. I'm like, okay, I can't do it anymore. And then maybe a couple weeks back, I was like, okay, why not? There's money to be made. I love thrifting, always shopping there. So why not, pick it back up for at least part-time for now. I started following you, Chris, and other people, and I'm like, okay, you know, I'm sitting at work all day and I can make way more, you know, just by, you know, doing what I love to do. Of course, I'm not going to quit my job anytime soon, but I am just getting back into it. I only have a couple items right now listed, but I've been working on it this evening. So I should have at least about 20 listed by tomorrow. And when I am selling, the Vibram five finger shoes do well. The Chacos seem to do well. Um, I'm just learning new brands from other people. So I just hit the LuLaRoe jackpot. I'm thinking yesterday I got 9 items. So I'm going to be listing those. So I'm going to see how those do. So I would say me getting back into it now, I don't know, you know, what the craze is. I guess as time goes on, I'll see more what does well for me. That's it.
Okay. Well, hopefully that is, hopefully you're going to get some insight. Thank you for sharing. And I think that as everyone gets started, there's a lot that you need to learn as far as different brands, different types. And I just think it's really important to get in and figure out what works for you, because you do actually need to like the items if you want to get into it, in my opinion. Although, if you're going to sell new items or electronics, like I know nothing about the Bible or electronic translators or handheld games, but it's just a search away. You can scan it easily at a garage sale or at the thrift store and see. And I would say 50% of the people that I talk to on their route, the first thing they look for is new items in the thrift store. So before they look at coats or clothing or jackets or bikes, they look at anything scannable first, because that's faster. And then also books are very profitable. So a lot of people, if they have a handheld, a Bluetooth scanner, they'll hit all the books first, because those are, it's often not crowded too. So you can get in there and really scan it and get a bunch of items listed, or I mean, a bunch of items researched. So Joel, I know it's kind of scaring me that you're driving while doing this, but if you want to chime in again with another thing that's selling well for you, go ahead.
No, I'm literally going 4 miles per hour, and I have a magnetic phone holder thing. The other thing that sells well for me right now is other things that might be gifts that for Q4 that aren't toys and not necessarily clothing or shoes, but like hand towels and random candles and body scents, like things from Bath and Body Works and the Body Shop and L'Occitane. Those are starting to do really well again too. For I imagine gifts.
No, that's a great point. Go ahead.
Around this time, I also like to start bundling up things that parents might be able to buy, or for stockings, like, you know, maybe 5 to 8 things that I've gotten really cheaply that would be good for, you know, the same age little boy or a husband or a wife that I've gotten cheap, and someone can just buy it and have 5 to 8 things for that stocking.
I wish I could sell like a generic man box. Just 10 things that men would like in it for $100. That'd be fantastic. But
it would.
We also have Ken Hustleby, who just jumped in. I know you like to sell shoes. Why don't you tell us what's been selling well for you in that category, or if you've sold some other stuff now?
I've been selling a lot of jackets and jerseys.
Nice.
You know, NFL, it's something that I anticipated. Those are the things. Shoes has been kind of average, still the same, but hoping to get more sales this coming Q4. That's definitely what I'm trying to predict. So hopefully it will pay off. I'm just loaded up on everything, kind of just like holding my breath, even though my sell-through rate is really low. You know, as of the moment, hopefully it will pay off when it comes to like gifts and stuff like that.
On the topic of jerseys, we also have Wade Ventures, who just joined. What's going on? Right now in the thrift, I don't know if they're all on the same email list or something, but soccer jerseys are the most expensive. So I don't know if that's because it's hot right now. I don't know why, So it goes soccer jerseys, then
Well,
NFL, then NBA. Even though I live where the Warriors crush, those jerseys are still cheaper than soccer, which is amazing.
Well, the thing with soccer is there's a couple tiers of soccer jerseys, and the higher end, the player edition, usually go for like over $300. So it's very high quality, and it's soccer is getting really big. You know, especially with cities that have clubs now and everything like that. It's really getting big, and it's getting a lot more exposure here in the U.S. So it's something that's I've been seeing a lot of soccer jerseys in stores like Marshalls, like discount retailers where I used to shop there before I didn't see them. So, and also Team USA is doing really well. So that really helped a lot of, people being exposed to soccer. And I guess it's just they're being more open now. It's more openly accepted now. So yeah, definitely soccer is very big, especially their the long sleeve jerseys. One of the things what I noticed with soccer is they're pretty much you can use as a casual wear, and it's also mixed in the street wear now, with just the fashion and everything like that. Like before NFL jersey and NBA jersey is more like the hip hop culture and everything like that. With now, soccer is more of the street wear.
I 100% agree with that. I never see people walking around in NBA jerseys, but like
in like NFL jerseys anymore.
Simple like FC Barcelona, Real Madrid jersey, a simple one. They're everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something.
Yeah.
But let's go into Wade. Wade, thanks for coming.
Dude, what is going on, Chris? It's been a while.
Why don't you talk about some stuff that's selling well for you? Everything seems to be selling well for you.
Dude, I'm killing it. I just took a payment for let me check actually. I think it was like $524, $523.
Oh.
So I sold this Nike robe. Can you guys hear me okay? I know. Okay, cool. This was actually one of my bigger weeks. It's almost $3,000 for 3 days. And it's just been incredible. I've been selling everything. I would say the most fun thing I've done was I bought almost 80 pairs of Payless shoes. And so I went in the store and they had all these shoes, just basic Payless shoes, $5 each, and then had a BOGO, so buy one, get one half off. And then I had a 25% coupon on top of that. Anyway, so I've been buying all these and I've sold 3 of them already for $30. And my average cost was like $100.89, and then I paid $2 something for the ones that I didn't get 50% off. So it was pretty incredible, guys. That's probably my biggest find was Payless shoes. Who would have thought, right? It's nothing cool, Kenneth. I see you over there with your Nikes, but yeah, no, it was. It's been some cool flips. So I mean, and then they're super easy. So I've been using the stock photos, but then at the very end, I'll actually take my own photo with a card in it that says Wade's Ventures. So that way they know I have it and I own it. So, yeah.
This is a really cool tip. Also, when I went to eBay last week, they said that they're going to discontinue sending listings with the first photo having a prop or a watermark in it. They won't send that listing to Google because they want to try to make their listings uniform. But I don't know how it applies to multiple pictures. Like I would love, as a consumer, I would really want to see stock photo followed by actual photo, meaning you have it. I think that's a fantastic way to do it. If you can do that properly, or you can take a plain background picture as your initial picture, then go into a little bit more natural photos. Because I think that your photos look really natural with the background. And it makes me more confident because it's more in a natural setting. I'd almost rather buy a pair of Nikes that's sitting on someone's couch than a pure white background, because the color is often not perfect on that versus just natural lighting.
Yeah, I agree. It's and that's one thing I kind of want to do with the Payless shoes, even though it's not an expensive product. Is I did do the stock photos, but then if you look, some of them I actually did 2 or 3 of my own. So it's kind of a mixture towards the end. And then I put the thank you card that I put, and it's the same one where they can scan and get the discount if they come back to my store. I'll put that in the actual photo so they know, I own it. I'm not drop shipping the products. So it's working out really well. It's really cool find. I just think it's awesome that I can go into Payless Shoes of all places and get an average cost of 25 to 30 bucks, you know, within a few days. So it's pretty cool.
I can't believe the Payless shoes are selling well. That's like, I have been selling really a lot of Merona because I find Merona brand new with tags at Goodwill because the Goodwills here purchase pallets from Target. I don't know exactly how it works. Like if they get partial write-off and they partially get some money because they're marked differently. I don't know if thrift stores in you guys' areas do that, but brand new Merona sells fine. You know, it's sold in so many different places. Everybody knows what size they are. And, I don't know if the Payless is in my area are going out of business. You'll have to check it out.
Yeah, Payless, they sell directly on Amazon, so I can't sell it on Amazon. But another thing, too, I'm looking into Target is I went to this liquidation center, and it's just a liquidation center that gets returns, you know, damaged goods from all these big box stores like Costco, Target, and a few places. And I talked to one of the guys was leaving. He just works there. He's a manager. And he said that I tried to negotiate on a bunch of – it's the same place I bought those Crest I don't know if you saw it on Instagram, but I bought a bunch of Crest like whitening stuff. Anyways, so I was trying to get a deal on this big bulk buy a week ago and trying to negotiate him down. And I made a comment, hey, I know how much you pay for this merchandise, which I kind of shouldn't have done. But then he responded back saying that most of the merchandise they get at this liquidation center here in Portland, they get free, like free. And so I was really curious, and come to find out they're buying, like, I guess Target just does tax write-off and just hands them a bunch of merchandise, and then they get some from Costco and other places. So I'm going to start working into that because I don't know how they do it. I don't know how that works, if they've got like a nonprofit, you know, something like that where they I just don't know how are they able to get these shipments free. I don't know. So I'm going to work on it and see. And I'll keep you updated, Chris. But it was just really intriguing that they get all this stuff free from Target and other places. So
I think it's just a write-off. They don't want to deal with handling the returns.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's just easier for them to write it off as a loss. And I think that's something that they can, you know, definitely write off. Dealing with returns is crazy, especially when the items are under $30. It just seems like it's not really worth it to test it to see if it's okay and put it back out on the floor. I know Best Buy, you see the open box tables right out front.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to, it doesn't seem like they do anything to it. It's like the box is cut open, there's a yellow sticker on it. So
yeah,
that might be one way to alleviate it. So Ken, Gwen, you have something to say?
Yeah, I was just going to tell you, I think that the Target has like a partnership in California, and I don't think they sell them. I think they donate.
Okay.
Because that's why there's so much that ends up there. I thought I read something about that a while back, but it's just kind of interesting because here we don't get as many, but over there in the bins, like you'll find tons of brand new with tags Target, and it's all cut.
Yeah, the tags, that's true. The tags are also cut, and you'll see that, like you'll see a black line through return items that they don't want returned. Also, I will say that I'm going to shout out Hustlebee because I started Nike Retail Arbitrage, and I was going to give up, but he told me to go in the morning. I did go in the morning, and there's nobody there. So if you guys want to do Nike Retail Arbitrage at the outlet, right when it opens, there's not a line or anything, unless there's some kind of a release. But I don't know of any releases that happen at outlets.
No releases on outlets.
So I haven't seen it. I went a few days ago in the morning, and it was fine. There was nobody there, and Nike's really cool because I was able to pick up another 7 pairs of the identical shoe, which was just one listing, and everyone should add that in. Nike's going to be hot. I was going to ask Ken, of your shoes, is there any style or model that is doing well? Because I have heard a lot of whining from shoe sellers. What do you think, Ken? Did we lose you? Let's see. Okay. No. Okay. Wait, is it me? Can you guys hear me? Oh.
Yeah, I hear you now.
Okay. No, Ken, I was going to say, of all your shoes, is there a specific model that is selling well, or a style or a sport of shoe?
Well, the one that's selling for me, I mean, retros always sell. Jordan retros, they sell. You know, it's just a matter of with retros, it's just a matter of pricing, really. You know, like if you're cheaper than everybody else, it will actually sell fast. So, you know, I'm usually very patient with my inventory. So I price mid-high. Recently, what has been selling are actually football cleats, which is, you know, seasoned kids getting to play football and everything like that. That's something that has been selling a lot. And also I've sold a couple of lifestyle shoes like Stan Smith, like those, but nothing really significant yet that I can say like it's leaning on one side. You know, like I have a pretty diverse inventory already. Um, One thing I've noticed though is I'm averaging close to between 2 to 3 international sales
That's all.
through global shipping program. So it's very convenient, very cheap for me. You know, I have to send it to Kentucky. The most I have to pay is like $6. So I usually work with them when it comes to like, you know, them giving me best offer. It's one thing that I really notice.
I've been doing really well with the fly knit style.
Mhm.
So, I mean, especially for women's running shoes, they sell really fast. I sold a used pair for $50.
Wow.
Yep.
So it just depends on the style if they're popular. So it definitely does well. Maybe Wade, you sell a lot of shoes. There's specific styles that do well. Wait, actually, before you answer, somebody in the chat is saying that there's a lot of flooding of the market because of Ross. A lot of new Ross and Marshall sellers that are quickly jumping in and selling their items. So, Wade, you have a little bit of experience selling shoes, and you're up in the mothership by the mothership. So, what are your thoughts?
I don't believe like the market's flooded. I mean, that's my personal opinion. I feel like, you know, there's just so many buyers out there. As long as you price it correctly and you have decent photos, it's going to sell. But I sell a lot of vintage shoes, but I have been going to Ross and Hustle B, dude. I've been following you, my man, and I'm gonna have to do. I'm trying to get into the Ross game. I bought a couple days ago, and so I'm somewhat new into that. But you know, for now, I'm mostly vintage stuff. I do sell some. I am getting a few cleats, and I'll have to show you here in a second.
All right.
I picked up for I picked up for $7. So I don't know. I was going to ask you too. Maybe we'll talk about it offline. But
Sure.
I'm assuming that you have relationships with the people that mark down these shoes, or you know when they do it within Ross.
As of now, I don't have any insider. I am purely a consumer, just because I don't have that enough capital yet to buy out all the stuff. So I don't have any. One thing that, you know, I just ask the employees when they usually restock. You know, so they usually tell me they restock morning, so it varies from store to store. One thing that you know I just pay attention to per store. So yeah, but yeah, with in regards to flooding, it happens. It happens a lot. Uh, for example, there's this Nike soccer balls. They actually retail for $150 originally, and they came out at Ross for for $13 at Ross. So I was, you know, I was picking them up. You know, Carlos Relentless Resale have like over 50 pairs, and we decided that, well, everybody was selling it for like 25 to 35, basically like making $5 to $10. We decided to, you know, sit on it, and within the last week, it actually was from 400 listings. Within the last week, it was around 80. I haven't checked recently. So, you know, when people start to sell out, then you're gonna be the next in line. So that happened to you know, the soccer balls that we're selling, we're getting $50 to $60 for them.
It's a good tip.
So I'm gonna ask Joel a question. I know you're driving, but as far as the toys go, how would someone, let's say there's a mom or a person that's never really sold toys, do you recommend they sell their own toys first? Do they just jump into Target to the clearance section? How do you start selling toys?
Definitely start selling your own toys first. I started doing that because by the time, and that's what works really well. actually, because but your kids get to play with the toys, and by the time they're done playing with the toys, they're worth money because they've quit selling them in the store, but kids still want them. And that's the Little Einstein's Pat Pat Rocket is one of my favorite examples of that. I bought it. I probably paid $30 for it at Target when my kid was for Christmas one year, and it sold. Whenever I sold it, it was like I sold it for like $135.
Wow.
But both of my kids played with it, so it was several years, like, after I bought it. But usually, that's the best time for parents to start selling toys is when their kids are done with them, because by that time they're not making them anymore.
I probably sold 10 Bop Its just because it's entertaining to me to play with it while it's selling. It's not something that, it doesn't make very much money, but I see them at garage sales all the time.
Yeah,
so, yeah,
it's fun.
It's interesting to see games. I think games are huge. I wonder if there's a retail arbitrage game for dress shoes. Ken, I wonder if that's a thing, because I finally found a pair of Allen Edmonds. I sell tons of Kohan, all Ferragamo shoes, Gucci, cowboy boots. They all sell well for me, but they're definitely more dressy. I don't know.
I believe there is a game for it, and I've been studying it for a while. And Cole Haans actually sells so much, and I actually started. I had 15 pairs of Cole Haans ranging from 0 grands to lunar grands when I was working, because I was on my feet all the time, and they're like the most comfortable pair. So I actually started selling them, and I was getting $100 to $150 for my used pair. Because they retail for $278 to $350, So there is actually a game, but it is more capital intensive. It's more like double to triple what I pay now. So model would be like buy 60, sell for 150, plus minus.
That sounds sexy to me. I can't wait to start selling some men's dress shoes.
Yeah.
And I will say, though, even though I don't wear them, I really enjoy selling women's pumps. They are really fun for me. So I'm still really enjoying it. I like shoes that women wear for weddings. I think they look really cool. So they're colorful. So, and plus those are the shoes that I get messages back from people saying, like, thank you so much for finding this pair for me. It's amazing, super cool. And yeah, it's just really good. A thank you note from somebody. It's really cool. So we have a Bedouin who just joined. Your video is not turned on. Maybe we can get your video turned on in just a second. Gwen, do you have any other stuff that you like to sell or stuff that's doing well for you?
Ironically, like J. Jill and Chico's, I buy it really cheap, but anything that's linen is doing really well right now. I thought it was just a summer thing, but every time I list it, that's usually the first thing that sells within 24 hours. Just like Flax brand, J. Jill Love Linen, Chico's Linen, Chico's like Travelers. I didn't really get the whole Travelers thing, but now that I got the title correct, with help from Lexi, who sells it all the time, I definitely have noticed like a lot more sales in it. And it's crazy because I was passing on most of those brands just because I was like, oh, like this is older women, like I don't need this in my store. But now I'm like, yeah, hey, let's do this. Like, let's start selling some linen.
Gwen, can I give you, or can you help us with a breakdown between Loft and Ann Taylor Loft? Just quickly, because there's so many people who, like, that's the only brand they have in their area.
Yeah, so I used to work for both Ann Taylor Loft, Ann Taylor Factory, and Loft Outlet. I've worked for all four. And Lou and Gray is also owned by Ann Inc. So if you do find Lou and Gray, it's also an Ann Taylor brand. It's supposed to be just Ann Taylor is like the older sister. It's the original first one from the company, and It's more of like the mature career wear, kind of like people late 30s and on, and then career pieces like suiting. And then loft is not referred to as Ann Taylor Loft anymore. It's just loft. All capital letters, loft. They took off the Ann Taylor part a few years ago. So even though it's still on the tags, the modern way to refer to it is just loft, because it's supposed to be on like a standalone brand. And it's Ann Taylor's little sister. So it's like the it girl that's younger. She's a mom. She might be getting into her career for the first time. She might be just, you know, after work hanging out with her friends. It's supposed to be like the woman that can do everything. And that's their kind of brand that they, like, client that they go for. She's like multifaceted. And so that's kind of like how you find like the younger pieces, the more trendy pieces tend to go to loft. And then if you do find factory or outlet merchandise, be like well aware that it's made in the same factory that the full price stuff is. And it has, like, the stores have their own designers, so it's not stuff that didn't sell at the full price store. It is stuff that is created especially for the outlet. And usually it's stuff from the previous year that gets remade in different patterns and colors. The difference might be that outlet won't be silk and full price is silk in a shirt, things like that. But it's definitely not a lower quality. It's made in the same factory, sourced with the same buttons, the same like stitching, everything's the same. And then Lou and Grey is the loungewear line. So if you do find Lou and Grey, that stuff is really desirable. If you find something that says Loft Lounge, it's the same thing as Lou and Grey. It's just they can't call it that. It's the outlet version, but it's still the same stuff.
Wow, so. I see it all the time and I never pick it up, but now I might actually take a look at it.
Yeah, there's actually different tags. I see a lot of people saying Loft and Ann Taylor doesn't sell, but it's because they're picking up stuff from the 90s. The tags have changed 3 times. So the most modern tag is white with black letters, and it's kind of like very clean looking, very modern looking. The one before that for Loft was white with like a tan lettering. That one's okay too, as long as the styles are current. And then Ann Taylor has always been like a black label with white text, but the new one, the text is just like a little bit sharper and more condensed. And that's the newest one. And you can pick that up, but like I said, I wouldn't pay more than a couple of bucks per piece. Like, unless you find a suit that's new with tags, that's modern, I really wouldn't pay more than like $2 for stuff.
That's a great point. And I think we may have to make a chart or something at some point, because there's people who live in areas where that's the Gucci of their area. They don't have anything. Like,
hey, I love Loft. I just spent $200 there today because they have a 50% off sale. I mean, I used to be a store manager. I love their stuff. I still love it. So if I find it at thrift stores, I definitely will pick it up, especially at the bins. At thrift stores, if I can get it pretty cheap and it's modern or like a really cute style, because their quality is really good. It lasts for a long time. I have stuff from 5 years ago that's still perfect. So my entire closet is Loft and Ann Taylor.
Okay, sorry, I was distracted. Let's see, who else is left in the chat? Ken, any other tips? Do you want to talk about the Ray Dunn stuff you found?
Yeah, so that one, I actually haven't really sold a lot of them yet, because I actually I priced them really high because I'm banking on them for Christmas time. It seems like it's gonna be a cool gift. So I've actually held onto that, and everything's pre-packed. So that's actually well, the other Ray Dunn stuff that are seasonal, obviously you'd have to post it on season. That's something that, for me personally, I haven't sold a lot of them yet, but I am expecting that they will sell a lot. So I have a bunch of Ray Dunns sitting here.
Is there any downside to listing it right now?
No, I actually have them listed, but they're actually priced high.
Okay.
Right now, so they're like $20 to $30 higher than everybody else, because I'm lotting them. I'm trying. Well, everybody's only selling them per piece or per pair. I'm actually selling them for like 3, 4, or 5, something like that. Something like a family could, a gift for a family or something like that, or 2 pairs. So yeah, they're listed high right now. So hopefully they will sell come Christmas time.
I'm going to shout out Reseller Network in the chat. He or she is saying that we should sell water purification units or lacrosse equipment, which sounds great. I don't even know what lacrosse equipment is.
I actually sell lacrosse cleats.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. So you can. I actually sold out of them. I couldn't find any more of them.
Wow.
So they're very, very limited. So I would say 1-to-5 ratio. I'd find 5 soccer and football cleats to 1 lacrosse cleat. So yeah, they're actually harder to find, especially the higher end stuff. And also, maybe this is something people in warmer weather. I don't know. Maybe it's you guys have this or not, but I actually have all the Nike tank tops at my outlets here. They're actually on clearance right now, and I can pick them up for around $5. And they are selling continuously. The Nike Dry Fit running shirts and workout shirts, they're selling between $20 to $25 on eBay right now. And then they're selling a lot because the retail price of this tank tops are like $40 to $50. So that could be something you guys could check. And I'm waiting on that since I'm in a colder area. I've seen that before. Shorts actually would go for $5 or even cheaper. Like t-shirts, I've bought t-shirts for 97 cents in my outlet. So because it's starting to get cold, nobody really buys them. So that's just one tip that you guys can go ahead for Nike, not just shoes. Which is I have a lot of Nike apparels too.
That's a great point. Nike apparel sells well. Nike bags sell well. Nike everything sells well. They sell a lot of stuff, guys.
Yeah.
Let's see. Even pre-owned, they sell well.
Yeah.
Let's see. Who else is available?
One thing I'm trying to get back, Chris. I'm trying to get back to the brand new high-end sneaker game. Not like I've actually ordered one that just released today. It's an Air Jordan Pinnacle Flight Jacket 6. So when Jordan first appeared at the SNL interview, he had a bomber jacket which was olive green, and was really cool. And they actually came out with it. And crazy thing is, I'm trying to get back with my connections. I actually ordered one from Italy.
Amazing. Yeah, it's definitely good. Guys, I wanted to stress that the name of the game is still networking. When you meet people, like if you know the manager at a store or the manager at your Goodwill, it helps so much. Like you can get access to stuff that most people wouldn't be able to get. I think Jill had something to say, but we lost her for a second. You back, Jill?
Yeah, I am. What's not important anymore. I was just going to talk about lacrosse, but we've passed that.
Let's talk about lacrosse because it's come up in the chat a couple times.
Lacrosse is huge on the East Coast, and here in Maryland, it's like one of the top sports that kids play.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Like those Harvard kids.
Yeah, exactly. But it's really, really huge, and the equipment is so expensive.
Yeah, I sell all my lacrosse to like Charles Smith, Tom Johnson.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
I already know.
I sold a lot of lacrosse clothing and like I feel like a couple of uniforms. They both went East Coast.
Yeah, so East Coast.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's really, really big over here. Even bigger than I've lived in Ohio and Georgia and Tennessee, and I didn't realize how huge it was till I moved here in the DC area.
Mm-hmm. One other thing that I want to point out is that Reseller Network is talking about how water is going to be a big time concern for people in the upcoming years. I agree with that. I mean, like even California was totally unprepared for drought. People panic. They don't know what to do. as global warming takes effect and
Yeah.
melts.
Any kind of water filters, like you had said, have always done really well, and I
Yeah.
believe it's not really a gated thing on Amazon, I believe. I've been selling them for so long, I don't know how they've gated them, if they have recently, but even at Target, they still will sell higher than what I ever thought that they would sell for. Even just like water bottle water filters, or water filters for your refrigerator, or
I
any
agree that
kind of
even Brita water filters sell really fast. So, I mean, just
Pure and Brita, and yeah.
So guys, there's 158 people or 161 people watching. If you guys want to hit the like, that would be great. If you want to join this call, we're going to be doing it every single Sunday night with a specific topic so everyone can chat, hopefully helping us all level up and learn new things. If you have a topic that you want to share with us, let us know. We'll post it on the Reseller Fam Facebook group, which you guys should all join. It's going to be a smaller group where there's not a lot of BS, so we're going to remove people who are dramatic or where it's not about talking about other people, it's just about helping each other level up our reseller game. I think that's really important to stay focused on improving. And so if you want to share your store, you're welcome to do that. We have the Reseller Smackdown show where we go over people's stores and review what's working, what's not working. And the easiest thing I can tell you guys is to sell what is selling. Like look for solds, and I recommend almost a 75% sourcing to 25% listing ratio when you first start. Don't spend 25% of your time listing sourcing and 75% listing because you don't know what sells yet. When you're just getting started, spend more time on the researching end so you don't get stuck with inventory that doesn't sell. You really want to sell stuff, in my opinion, that sells in the $20 to $30 range when you're just starting. That way, if you panic and you made a mistake buying it, you can discount the 10 to 15 and get your money back. But if you get something that sells between 10 and 20, the demand is usually so low that even if you discount it, you still may not sell it. So people will say, hey, I have an item for $4.99 free shipping. Why is it not selling? It may not sell faster than $14.99 free shipping because there's only 4 people every day looking for that item, and there are 40 of them listed. So be careful when you're out there. Obviously, we all want to sell low competition, high demand. It's not always the case, though, so just be careful. Let's see. There's also, this is an interesting comment. People are going to be using UV chargers. So quickly, before we jump off, everyone put in the chat if you have any questions. We'll take a couple of more before we end the chat. I also shout out to Sam, OSS Empire. He really got me into selling electronics that are broken or as is. And I do want to shout out a lady that won the San Jose Small Business, whatever. In the Bay Area, there's a lady that does recycling from big corporations. So it's illegal to dispose of e-waste. You have to have somebody come pick it up. And she started a service that picks up e-waste, and she does like a few million a year on eBay. Wow. Just broken, damaged, outdated stuff that companies have that she gets essentially for free, and she even sometimes charges people to pick it up. So all these different kinds of models exist, guys, but definitely go to where the wealth is. That's another tip that everyone seems to say. Go to areas that are expensive, go to corporations, they have more money to give. Let's see. Gwen, do you have any final thoughts, and where can people find you? I'll shout out the people that are still left.
No, but that e-waste, that lady's really cool. I saw her at eBay Open. I think that's the same lady you're talking about. Yeah, that's a really cool concept. But no, pretty much that's everything that's been selling well for me. Somebody in the chat just asked, where do we have our merchandise stored? So I don't know if everybody wants to talk about that. I mean, I have mine stored in tubs in one of my spare rooms, and then a lot of shoes everywhere. But yeah, other than that, no, I think I'm just going to focus on next couple months just building my boots and shoes and coats and all of that and getting them listed quickly. I'm trying to turn around everything within 48 hours of buying. So
Awesome. Ken, where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at the Hustlebee.
Marla, I apologize. I muted you because there was some background noise, and I don't know how to unmute people. But if you want to message me, I'll shout you out on IG so people can follow you. Joel, where can people find you?
On the side of 81 North, where I've been for the last 12 hours.
It's hardcore out there.
Yeah, it's awful. Sorry. Seriously though, on Instagram, my sister and I are both have the page at the same time. We are at the Lister Sisters on Instagram.
Awesome. So
if I ever get home.
If you ever get home. One last thing I want to share with you guys. Duncan's in the chat. I think he's in Germany, so shout out to Duncan. That is awesome that he follows. But I want to just say he sent me an email earlier talking about how the promoted listings, the new Markdown Manager doesn't have a strike through. So I was actually very fortunate to talk to eBay last week to clarify some of the stuff and some of the reasons why it doesn't show up. So I'll make a video showing why some people's sales don't have a strike through this week to explain why that's happening. There's actually nothing wrong with eBay. So, and it's fine. It's legit. It's just that it's a little bit confusing the way they rolled it out. So some people are using order discounts, which are not the same thing as Markdown Manager. That's basically the synopsis. A lot of people are using order discounts, which is not the same as Markdown Manager. So I will make a video showing the difference, and I'll show you guys how some stores have sales event plus Markdown Manager, and some people have just a Markdown Manager, but all of those have migrated into the new promotions tab. So lots of interesting stuff that's going to happen, but hopefully I can clear that up. So don't give up on the markdowns. Those will eventually work, and you guys can find me on this channel or on Instagram at 10konthebay@gmail.com. One more plug for our Facebook group. Everyone join the Reseller fam. There's lots of great content. There's 5 admins. So if you guys have any questions, reach out to me at 10konthebay@gmail.com. And everyone have a great weekend. List a lot, and we'll see you next week.